Your English-speaking friend or colleague walks up to you tomorrow and asks, do you have any plans for the holidays? And you just freeze or you panic because all you know how to say is Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. Here is the problem. The holidays are probably the most social time of the year, particularly in English-speaking countries. And if you only know how to say Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, you're missing a very important opportunity to have real, deeper conversations with English speakers. I'm Dino, I'm an English teacher based out of Taiwan and Ireland, and I've been teaching English for just over 10 years, have helped over 5,000 English students reach their goal. And in this video, I'm going to give you 5 phrases that you can use to describe the Christmas time and also the New Year and the dreaded New Year's resolutions. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It does help the algorithm send and push my videos to you to help you improve your English. So without further ado, let's dive in. So over these next 5 minutes, I'm going to teach you these phrases that you can use pretty much now from mid-December all the way up until mid-January. So they're really great and effective practical phrases that you can take and use in your conversations. But remember guys, these are not just textbook phrases. These are the types of phrases that we see and hear being used each and every day, particularly this time of year. So you won't really find these in a textbook. They're more casual and more phrases that we generally use as native English speakers. And I've also organized them in the order that you will use them, from starting conversations to ending them. And so by the end of this video, you'll know how to respond when someone asks you about plans, also how to ask about their plans naturally, how to talk about New Year's resolutions, how to wish people well professionally. So this is great if you want to use it in the workplace. And finally, how to share holiday greetings like a native English speaker. Ready? Here's phrase number 1. It's, do you have any plans for the holidays? This phrase is perfect because you can use it for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, or any other type of celebration. It's also open-ended, so it invites that conversation. And it's safe for both professional and more casual settings. And so if your friend or colleagues asks you this phrase or this question, a great response might be something like, for me, I could say, oh, I'm actually flying back to Ireland to celebrate Christmas with my family. How about you? And your friend or colleague might say something like, oh, I'm actually just going to spend Christmas at home, pretty much just a quiet one this year. 3 key tips when somebody asks you this question is 1, answer yes or no first. Then describe your own plans, what you plan on doing. It doesn't have to be anything special or amazing, but just say what your plan is and then ask naturally about what their plan is. Always make sure to keep the conversation going by asking about what their plan is next. And a great question that you might be thinking about is, what if I don't actually celebrate Christmas? That is absolutely fine. There are so many of my friends and students and you guys, my subscribers, that actually don't celebrate Christmas. So in this type of situation, what can you say? You could say something like, actually, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I'm really looking forward to the time off. What about you? Again, it's completely fine to say that you don't celebrate Christmas. Not a big deal. Just stay positive and make sure to keep that conversation going. That brings me on to phrase number 2, which is, I'm heading home to spend Christmas with my family. When you describe your plans here, use the present continuous. This is best for definite or future plans. And heading home is definitely much more natural than just saying going home. And there are so many variations to this phrase. So for example, you might say something like, I'm heading home to spend Christmas with my family. That's the first example I gave. You may also hear, we're hosting Christmas dinner this year. So you're hosting the Christmas dinner party. You may also hear, I'm spending the holidays with friends in Ireland, in London, in New York, wherever that might be. Or you might also hear, I'm staying here this year, keeping it low key. Heading home means that you are traveling to where your family lives. Hosting means you're having people at your house. Spending time with is the standard phrase for spending time with people, and keeping it low key generally just means staying quiet, relax, and not doing anything too crazy. For example, in a real conversation, your friend might say something like, what are you doing for Christmas? You might then, or you could say, I'm heading home to Ireland to spend it with my family. We always have a big dinner, a big massive Christmas turkey and ham. I'm so excited for a roast dinner. What about you? And then your friend could say, we're hosting Christmas this year. My parents are coming home and they're going to stay with us for about a week. You see and hear how that conversation works. It's very natural. And a pro tip here is always add one small detail about your tradition or about your celebration, or even about how your family celebrates Christmas or any other type of holiday, because it makes the conversation more interesting and it also allows the other person to ask a question back to you. And so that little small detail turns very simple, awkward, boring conversations into real, deeper conversations. And if you've made it this far in the video, make sure you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit the little notification bell because it allows YouTube to send and push my videos to you to help you improve your English. So let's get into phrase number 3. Phrase number 3 is, have you made any New Year's resolutions? Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What are New Year's resolutions? Why do I have to make them? And the funny thing is, you actually don't have to, but it's a great question and phrase that we love to use around this time of year, particularly within that week after Christmas and just before the 1st of January in the new year. But remember, a resolution is a goal or a promise that you make to yourself for the new year. And this is the most common conversation topic around this time. How would you ask this question? You might say something like, have you made any New Year's resolutions? Or do you usually make New Year's resolutions? And I know what a lot of people say in this situation. They generally say, no, I hate New Year's resolutions, and that's absolutely fine. But if you do, or even if you don't, here are some options about how you can actually answer this question. So the first option is you could say something like, yes, I want to improve my English next year, or I really want to lose some weight. What about you? Option 2 is a little bit more funny or more humorous option. So you could say something like, yes, I do, but actually I make the same ones every year. So I'm not actually too sure if it's going to turn out very well. Yes, I have, but I make the same ones every year and never stick to them. But this year will be different, hopefully. So you see how that works. That little kind of more humorous, funny answer, it really lends itself to a more natural conversation. Some other very common resolutions that you may hear might be things like, get in shape, exercise more, learn a new skill, read more books, save money, spend more time with my family or with my kids, travel more, eat healthier, and then finally, stress less. These are the most common New Year's resolutions that we often hear. As a sample conversation, your colleague might ask you something like, have you made any New Year's resolutions? You could say, yes, I'm hoping to reach a more advanced level in my English by July of next year. I'm taking an online course and practicing every day. What about you? Your colleague might answer something like, that's great. I want to get back to the gym and it's been months since I've been. So you see how that conversation works, really natural. And again, don't be afraid to ask about the other person's resolutions. Like I mentioned at the start of this phrase, so many people will actually joke about their resolutions. And so if you can make a joke in English, that's a great way to lighten the mood, or it's a great icebreaker in your conversations. And some jokes that you could use might be something like, my resolution this year is to stop making New Year's resolutions, or my resolution this year is to actually keep my New Year's resolutions. Those are two little funny, humorous answers that you can use for this question. Moving on to phrase number 4, and this is how we wish people well. Now, I'm going to give you 2 options for this. You can have a professional way and a more casual way. So the professional way of wishing someone well is wishing you and your family a very happy Christmas. Or the more casual way is have an amazing Christmas. Enjoy your time off. Now, there is a big difference between the professional and the casual option, but I want to give you both because you do need both. For the professional option, you can use this in things like emails to your clients, also to your managers. It's a great option to have for the workplace. And so other variations of this might be something like wishing you and your team a restful holiday season and a prosperous new year. Or you might just see something like happy holidays, looking forward to working together next year. Or finally, wishing you and your family a wonderful Christmas and a successful next year. These are really nice to add into your emails, particularly this time of year, or if you have any clients who are overseas or in other countries, really nice to add this time of year to the end of your emails. In terms of the more casual option, there are variations to that as well. We might see something like, have an amazing Christmas, can't wait to catch up in the new year, or enjoy your time off, you deserve it after the crazy year that you've had. Really nice, casual, but still holds a lot of sincerity in the phrase as well. Americans and Canadians will love to use Merry Christmas, whereas in Ireland, we say Happy Christmas. But remember, both are correct. You may also hear enjoy the festivities or have a lovely Christmas break. So in a practice conversation, you might hear something like this. So you say to your boss, wishing you and your family a wonderful holiday season. See you in January. Or if it's to a colleague, have a great Christmas. Enjoy the time with your family. Or if it's to a client in an email, you could say, happy holidays. Wishing you and your team every success in the coming year. So that's 4 phrases down, 1 final phrase to go. Phrase number 5 is responding to greetings themselves. In phrase number 5, I'm going to give you 3 variations. You could say, happy Christmas to you too, same to you, or happy holidays to you as well. And all of these 3 variations are crucial when somebody wishes you Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas. I would suggest never just say thank you, because that pretty much means that the conversation will be dead and buried right there and then. So again, use these phrases and you'll notice that your conversations start to sound much more natural, and it allows the conversation to keep flowing. Because remember what I said at the start of this video is that Christmas is actually the most social time of year. So even if you are not a very social person, if you're more introverted or an I person, still it's great to know these phrases because it will make you sound much more social than you naturally are. So again, don't be afraid to use these in your next conversation. I guess the formula for all of these kind of phrases, and particularly this last one, phrase number 5, is that when someone greets you, you return the greeting and then you add something extra. So for example, somebody says, Happy Christmas. You say, Happy Christmas to you too. Have a wonderful day, or enjoy your time off. Some other options or variations that when you want to add something or return the greeting, you could say something like, have a wonderful time with your family, or enjoy your time off, or all the best for the new year, or hope you have a restful break, or finally, see you in 2026 or 2027, whenever it is. Here's a complete conversation example that you might see and you can also use. So your manager might say something like, all right, everyone, I'm heading out. Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas to you all. You could say, Happy Christmas to you too. Enjoy the holidays with your family. And your manager would say, thanks, or cheers, you too. See you next year, all the best. And then finally, you could just say, see you in January. Now remember, that phrase, see you next year, is very common, even in late December. And even if next year is literally next week, we still use see you next year. And it's kind of like a light, humorous way to end the conversation. So that has been your 5 phrases that you can use, particularly for this time of year. Let's do a quick recap before we finish up. Phrase number 1, the conversation starter. Do you have any plans for the holidays? Phrase number 2, describing your plans. I'm heading home to Ireland to spend Christmas with my family. Phrase number 3, the New Year's conversation. Have you made any New Year's resolutions? Phrase number 4, professional or casual good wishes. Wishing you and your family a wonderful holiday season. And finally, phrase number 5, returning greetings properly. Merry Christmas to you too. Have a wonderful festive time. Remember guys, these 5 phrases will carry you through any Christmas, festive, New Year conversations over the next 4 to 5 weeks. So be sure to use these phrases in your next conversation. Master these and you'll feel much more confident all season long. Now I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Answer this question. Do you have any plans for the holiday season? What are you going to do? Are you heading home for Christmas? Do you have any New Year's plans? What exactly are your plans? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really interested and excited to hear what you're going to do. Again, we still have a few weeks just before Christmas hits and January into the new year. So let me know in the comments, what are your plans for this festive time? From my Irish family to you, wherever you are in the world, and if you do celebrate Christmas, a very happy Christmas and a joyous and successful and healthy new year in 2026. Happy holidays, and here's to all your progress that you guys have made this year in 2025. All the best for 2026, and I'll see you in the next video.